needle gauge. A needle gauge will help you figure out what size needle you have when the writing on your needles come off. And I know every one of you, just like me, has a pile of needles just kind of all mixed together. Hey guys, it's me, Stacey. You kind of caught me in the middle of a mess. I need a needle. I need a size 7. Look at all these needles I have. It's just a bunch of needles, and I don't have the packages anymore. When my needles are in a package, it's really easy to see what size they are. But now what do? Well, I was just having a talk with Andy, and look at all these options I have. Needle gauge. A needle gauge will help you figure out what size needle you have when the writing on your needles come off. And I know every one of you, just like me, has a pile of needles just kind of all mixed together. So how does it work? It's really pretty simple. You grab your needle, you grab your needle gauge, and what you're going to do is you're going to slide your needle in. Okay, well, this is definitely not a 0. Let me go up. Ooh, it goes through the 2. It fits nice and tight. Oh, it goes through the 2.5. It's definitely not a 1.5. Let me try that again. The 2, it only kind of gets right to the tip. I don't think that's right. So let me go up to a 2.5. This must be a 2.5. I now know if I need a 2.5, here's my needle. But a little trick I just learned is there are different brands. This one is a Clover. This one's for Addie Turbo. Here's a Susan Bates. And this one is somebody's. This is a Lacey's. There are different brand needle gauges for each vendor of needles. Most of the time it won't make a big difference. There is consistency, but when you're at these little numbers like the 2.5, be sure that if you can, that you're using your needle gauge for that needle, because on the Clover this was a 2.5 needle, but on the Addie this one seems to be a 2 3/4. Remember, needle gauge will affect when you're working on a what is needle gauge affecting, Andy, when you're working on a sweater? Needle gauge will affect your row count. I'm learning every day. The other thing I'm learning, and I thought this would be fun, is apparently I've become an excellent tinker. What's tinking, you ask? Tinking is the word knit spelt backwards. It's when you sit, which I'm about to do again, with your yarn and you are knitting backwards. You are taking your mistake, or knitting in my case back to my mistake, which I am currently consistently making in the same spot. And you are just going to sit here one by one and stitch by stitch and tink your knitting. That's your word for the day, guys. Tink. Happy knitting.